If you don't exert your God-given freedom and resilience, you won't leave a legacy in this life, right? I was just sitting in this cool little cafe in this surf town of Pichilemu in Chile, and I looked over and I saw this beautiful jade tree right next to me, really big. And it immediately reminded me of my grandmother. She was a remarkable woman with a very hard life, being born in and oppressed in Nazi Germany during World War II. But in resistance to all the difficulties that she had in her life, she loved to garden. And she had a bunch of fruit trees that I wish I spent more time helping her pick when I was a kid before she passed, but she had a ton of jade plants, like 50 of them. And not just little ones, but big trees with trunks, half a foot wide. And when she passed away, we obviously couldn't hold on to all of these plants, these jade plants, so we gifted them to friends and family around my hometown. And now all over that area, there are these big old jade plants spreading joy. And sometimes I think about how many times a person has passed by one of them and smiled, not knowing where it came from or the love that it was grown with. And now, wherever I am in the world, when I see jade plants, including the ones I've obviously propagated from hers, I think of her. They're a big part of her legacy here on Earth. She dealt with atrocities early on in her life that affected her for the duration of it. She found her own way to exert her freedom and to create and grow beautiful things that lasted. So what I'm about to say might sound a bit unemotional, but it's really the opposite. Had she just chosen to lay down in life and not do this, gardening, I'd remember her less often. Not because I would love her any less, but because she simply wouldn't have put as much of her into the world, and there would have been less of her in this world to remind me of her. Right? If she had loved the thought of gardening but never gardened and never grown any of those jade plants, then when I travel around the world and see them, I may have just passed by instead of thinking, oh, hey, Grandma, right? Which is actually what I think in my head. And so I think about all the people who had the privilege to but left this earth without truly exerting their freedom. And to be honest, I think about how rapidly this trend is likely increasing with the advent of social media. Because every hour that you spend pressing pause on life and just staring at your phone is an hour that you give away your opportunity to be free and lessen your eventual legacy. And honestly, this isn't about moralizing productivity. It's not even a discussion about your worth as a human and tying it to how much you produce in this world. It's really just to say that if you want to leave a legacy in this earth, it will be the product of the actions that you took. And those actions could be your work, they could be your gardening, your paintings, your poems, your intentional conversations and building of community. It could be any number of things, but only if you actually exert your free will and do those things. And every moment you spend compulsively engaged with your phone, doom scrolling, your TV, or just lost in the noise created to trap you in this world is a loss of your freedom and a lessening of your legacy. And I'm not here to judge you for how you choose to live your life. I'm just here to point out that your life will go by, it will end, and afterwards there will either be your equivalent of my grandmother's jade trees making your grandchildren and strangers smile as they pass by, or if you don't take any action, there won't be anything at all.